Welcome back to another episode of Success Society Stuff you won't remember next week. As always, we're here to bring you the most outrageous, bizarre, and downright what the Kentucky Fried Funk stories from around the globe. So, coming up on today's episode, we're off to Rome, where the locals are losing their minds over zombie tourists. We'll delve into the chilling account of a woman who woke up to her boyfriend snacking on her thigh. Yeah, stick around as we also discuss a prolific sperm donor who's fathered over 1,000 kids, a dating expert who thinks hooking up abroad is the key to better sex, a creepy Barbie doll shrine found in the woods, and, as if that wasn't enough, the bizarre phenomenon of hot rodent boyfriends. Let's go.
Oh, Lord, I'm so bored. Oh, Lord, I'm so bored.
All right, we start today's episode with the strange phenomenon of hot rodent boyfriends. No, we're not talking about actual rodents, but rather the rising trend of women describing their attractive yet slightly offbeat partners as rodent-like on social media. Now, the term seems to have emerged from a mix of affection and playful teasing, often used to describe boyfriends who are cute but a bit quirky. One viral post showed a collage of boyfriends with captions like, "My cute little rat," and "He's my adorable squirrel." Anyway, the trend has sparked a mix of reactions, like that one, with some finding it endearing and others cringing at the rodent comparison. One TikTok user explained, quote, "It's about celebrating the unique charm of our partners, even if they're a bit unusual," end quote. The phenomenon has even led to some men embracing their rodent status, with one guy proudly posting a picture of himself with the caption, "Guess I'm her ratatouille." It's all in good fun, but it does raise an interesting question about the ways we use humor and pet names in our relationships. So this is in vogue now. It's a fashion. It was dad bods a little while ago, right? Dad bods. These things come and go. Anyway, so what's your take? Cute and quirky or just plain weird? Would you call your partner a hot rodent or not? Let us know your thoughts. I guess they kind of have to have a look, though. Anyway, next story. Just when you thought your dating life was complicated, right? At least your ex didn't chew through your furniture. Speaking of creepy companions, now let's move on to something truly bizarre, as if that wasn't bizarre. But a man recently stumbled upon a creepy Barbie doll shrine in the woods. That's why I'm wearing a pink today. And the internet, of course, is freaking out. The shrine, shaped like a heart and adorned with dozens of Barbies in various states of undress, was discovered by a hiker who posted photos of the eerie scene on social media. Now, the post quickly went viral, of course, with some speculating about who might have created the shrine and why. Some thought it was the work of an eccentric artist, while others suggested it might be part of a witchcraft ritual. Why does everything have to be witchcraft? Anytime we don't understand anything, we're like, she's a witch, burn her. Come on. The most popular theory, a dedicated Barbie fan who took their collection to the next very creepy level. Comments ranged from amused to horrified. One user joked, "Barbie's dream house meets Blair Witch Project." Another one quipped, "Just another day in the life of a haunted forest Barbie." However, not everyone found it funny. Some were genuinely creeped out, wondering if there was a more sinister backstory to the shrine. What would you do if you stumbled upon something like this? Would you take a picture and move on? Or call the authorities just to be safe? Let us know. Who knew Barbie could give us nightmares, right? So from creepy toys to exotic flings, this is what I'm talking about. Let's switch gears to something a bit more international. All right, ready for a change of pace? Let's talk about dating. Olga, the CEO of Pure App, has an intriguing suggestion: hooking up abroad for better sex. According to Olga, sometimes the one for you might be closer to a sandy beach than your local bar. I think probably almost every time. Isn't that how Stella got her groove back? I don't think I've ever met anyone at my local bar where I was like, you're the one. Anyway, I digress. Olga admits she wasn't into dating apps before joining Pure App, but her fresh outlook has shaped the app into a space where women feel comfortable and empowered. Her main advice? Think outside the box and embrace sex positivity. Recent reports suggest there's a bit of dating app fatigue, with many people craving real-life connections. Really? Olga's solutions. Don't limit yourself geographically. Travel, explore, and you might find your perfect match in a foreign land. I'm in England. Talk about that. What's your take on this? Ready to pack a bag for love? Venture abroad? Or do you think it's just another gimmick? The thrill of an international romance. Just make sure you don't end up with more than you bargained for. And speaking of family surprises, now to the just plain bizarre. Let's talk about a guy named Jonathan Meyer. He's retired. I love that he's retired. The retired sperm donor who's fathered as many as 1,000 children worldwide. This 43-year-old Dutchman's story is the focus of a new Netflix documentary highlighting the controversy and criticism around his prolific donations. Jonathan was banned from donating in the Netherlands after it was discovered he fathered over 100 children there alone. Last year, the ban was extended globally due to the risk of incest among his offspring. This is interesting to me because this is how I was reading something about Adam and Eve and how there wouldn't be enough diversity in the gene pool, so it couldn't have been two people that created everybody. Anyway, that's something for you guys to go look up. Critics accuse Jonathan of having a godlike complex and misleading families about the number of children he's fathered. Despite the backlash, Jonathan insists he's just a free spirit trying to do something meaningful with his life. Okay. He's kept in touch with many of his children and their families, claiming they are happy and even meet their half-siblings. However, the Netflix documentary reveals troubling instances of his kids being too close for comfort, like 3 half-siblings found at one Dutch child care center. Ouch. Jonathan's journey began when he was 26, quickly maxing out the donation limit at one clinic and moving on to others. This guy really likes to do the 5-knuckle shuffle by the signs of it. Or I don't even know how they get the sperm, but let's just assume. He also donated privately through a Dutch website, often receiving up to 10 requests a day. One woman even alleged he offered to donate the traditional way, a claim he doesn't deny in the documentary. He probably gets the pictures and he's like, oh yeah, this one, I need to do a special delivery for this one. He's now focusing on building his own family with no regrets about his past. So what do you think? Is he a well-meaning donor or just reckless? Imagine the Father's Day cards. Jeez. From an overwhelming family tree to a boyfriend who's a bit too into you. Literally. All right, buckle up for this next one because it's straight out of a horror movie. An 18-year-old woman shared a harrowing tale on the Other People's Lives podcast about waking up to find her ex-boyfriend chewing on her thigh. Yeah, this all started when she began feeling woozy after drinking a spiked Pepsi while they were watching TV together. She passes out, only to wake up to a nightmare scenario. The woman detailed how her boyfriend had surgically removed a chunk of her thigh while she was out cold. Quote, "It was bed, garbage bag, towel, my leg. And he had gotten these razor blades and cut a 3x6 piece out of the top of my right thigh. But he did it carefully, like a kind of body modification. Something tells me he has done this before. Anyway, when she came to, she saw him sitting on the edge of the bed trying to chew through her flesh. Yeah, it's that messed up. Terrified, she didn't confront him immediately, but called the police after he left. The boyfriend was arrested with the piece of her leg still in his pocket. Now he's serving a 5-year prison sentence, but is up for parole very soon. So the woman, understandably traumatized, is left wondering about his motives and fearing for her future safety. It's a story that makes you question how well you really know someone, even after years of being together. Creepy doesn't even begin to cover it.
Bullshit.
Talk about a relationship that's hard to swallow. Wop, wop. Now, let's cleanse our palate with a historical twist on the undead. We're jetting off to Rome, where the Eternal City's residents are fed up with zombie tourists. In 2023, Rome welcomed a staggering 35 million tourists. But for the locals, it's not all gelato and gladiators. One frustrated Roman took to, where else, Reddit, to share their woes, describing how the city center is getting more crowded and unsustainable each year. Spain is having this problem too. Yeah, this is getting wild. The main gripe, the sheer volume of waste and massive tour groups that walk over you if you're not part of their blank entourage. We're a family show, folks. We've been banned enough by YouTube. We have to be better. The rant didn't stop there. Our Roman friend also slammed tourists for eating disgusting food in tourist traps, saying these vapid tourists have no interest in quality. You see people queuing to eat in the most average restaurant ever because it was on TripAdvisor. And who got the most heat? Americans and Brits called out for their littering and loud drunken antics. To be fair, now I just got back from Bulgaria. This is some commentary. Should I go to this camera? I just got back from Bulgaria last month shooting a film. Restaurants everywhere. You don't know where to go. You just don't know. I mean, they're tourist traps for a reason, is why they're called that. You don't know. I would love to go somewhere and they're like, this is some authentic stuff. I even asked one of the guys I was with and he was just like, there's nowhere. So anyway, let's get back to it. While some thought the complaints were a bit harsh, there was an agreement that Rome is indeed overrun by tourists. Another local chimed in, quote, a few years ago, areas around the Vatican were normal residential areas. Now, due to their proximity to St. Peter's, they've turned into souvenir shop central. Despite the agreement on the problem, solutions remain elusive. One commenter noted, quote, mass tourism is an issue, which needs to be controlled, but I have no idea how to do it. They're having this issue in Spain right now. They're actually going around to tourists and squirting them with squirt guns. They're having protests. And the problem is because here in England, people of America, Spain is like right there, right? So it's like if you're in Michigan, it's the equivalent of hopping over the Ambassador Bridge and going into Windsor to go to Canada almost. If you're my California people, it's like shooting down to Mexico right quick. It's right there, right? It's a couple-hour flight, 2.5-hour flight, and you're in Spain, depending on where you go. So it's warm, it's convenient, it's nice, it's beaches. So people from England and all over, really, there's a lot of German people there as well, but they'll buy villas and apartments. That's why I used to be in Spain all the time back in the day. So you go there, you spend 2-3 months there out of the summer, over the summer holidays, and the rest of the time the place is either empty or you rent it out. So even if you don't go, it's Airbnb'd. So now the prices have gone up because it's all this tourism and all these the prices of things are being sold. People that are locals can't afford to live there. That's the problem Rome is having. So is Rome doomed to be overrun by zombie tourists forever? Or can something be done to save the city from being buried under piles of selfie sticks and gelato cups? Finally, we've got Carly Chamalik, a flight instructor who's been having a meltdown over a missing package. This one's a little bit personal to me, so I saved it for last because there will almost certainly be a rant at the end of this one. I'm going to try not to. Hopefully we run out of videotape. Now, we all videotape. How old am I? We all know the stress of waiting for a package, right? You order something important and it ends up at your neighbor's place. No big deal usually. You just go over there, knock on the door, get your package. But not for Carly. No. She's decided to write a note. A note. She wrote 5 drafts of this thing, trying to strike the perfect balance of politeness and firmness. It's like she's drafting a UN resolution, not asking for her Amazon package. Now, after 5 days of stress and post office calls, she finally cracks and leaves the note. And of course, the internet had to weigh in. Some people are all like, go demand it back. One person said they lost their phone at work once, and the person who found it just stashed it away until they were asked about it. Another shared how a neighbor's kid thought their ceramic tiger was a gift. I mean, who thinks a package addressed to someone else is a gift? I don't know. That's not how gifting works, guys. Then you've got the other side, the maybe they didn't know it wasn't theirs crowd. Sure, okay, maybe they just didn't get around to it. Heavy Amazon users might have a stack of unopened packages. Who knows? They might not even realize it's not theirs. It's a whole mess of misunderstandings and passive aggression. So she ends up going over there finally. She goes to the house to get the package. She gets her stuff, and a lot of people are like, why wouldn't you just go get it? Now, I'll tell you why she wouldn't just go get it, I think. It doesn't say in the article that I read, but I have a neighbor. We all have neighbors, but I have a Karen, right? I had a package for my old mixer, little cloud lifter to make the mics louder so they sound better when we do shows. Easily slide through the mail slot. It got delivered to her house because of the proximity of our houses. Our addresses are similar, whatever. I knew she had it. We don't get along. She doesn't speak to me anymore. Fine. Doesn't bother me in the slightest bit. Now, I digress. I didn't get my package. I contacted the delivery company. They're like, we're not going to go get it. I even had a different delivery from the same company a week or so later. I'm like, I think you delivered a package to the wrong house. Can you go get it? He's like, I can't go get it. So weeks go by. I finally have to go get it. Granted, it's not her responsibility to bring it, but why are you accepting packages for me that aren't for you? It's very simple to just say, oh, that's the house next door. It clearly had my name on it. She refused to bring it over here. Now, who's in the wrong here? Leave a comment below. Should she have brought it, or should I have had to go over there and just guess where it was? I didn't know it was there for sure, because I didn't want to go over there and be like, excuse me, I believe you have my stapler. And this has actually happened twice. Anyway, what do you think, guys? That's it for today's episode. I'm going to get out of here before I start sounding like a moany little baby. Success Society, stuff you won't remember next week. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed the show. Until next time, stay curious and keep it weird. Peace.